Driving an interstate highway at 3 a.m. is a strangely isolating experience. The white lines blur and taillights fade into an endless dark horizon. This map shows our national network, covering over 48,000 miles of paved interstate road. And at any given moment, a portion of America's 3.5 million long-haul truck drivers are actively moving freight across it. We built this massive grid for economic efficiency, moving goods from coast to coast without stopping. That exact same efficiency created an unintended byproduct. It generated a vast, unmonitorable ecosystem for predators. Hidden within the overwhelming density of cars and trucks flowing through the night is a 48,000-mile blind spot. It acts as a moving shield that allows serial offenders to operate entirely out of sight from law enforcement. The American police system has a strict structural limit: geographic jurisdiction. A local sheriff or city detective has profound authority right up until the exact inch they hit a state or county line. After that, their visibility effectively drops to zero. Imagine a crime starts in a small county in Texas. A victim is taken. The local police begin an investigation, but their search radius is tightly bound to their immediate area. If the perpetrator immediately gets on the highway and drives east, they break the chain of evidence. The local Texas police have no way to track a vehicle moving at 70 miles an hour toward Louisiana. Days later, the victim is discovered hundreds of miles away in Ohio. A new set of local detectives takes the case, but they have absolutely no idea that a police department in Texas is looking for a missing person. Transient workers whose jobs require constant movement quickly recognize this gap. For a highly mobile predator, long-haul trucking provided the perfect cover to carry out crimes while continuously severing the evidence chain. Crossing a border became their most effective defense mechanism. Every time they passed a new state sign, they essentially forced the police to start their investigation completely over from scratch. This fragmentation lasted until the early 2000s. A federal analyst sitting thousands of miles away from these local precincts finally noticed a pattern of unsolved cases that the isolated departments couldn't see. The data revealed a concentrated string of attacks happening specifically along major commercial routes, like the Interstate 40 corridor stretching across the country. These crimes were clustered around sprawling logistics hubs. Truck stops, way stations, and highway rest areas provided vast parking lots where hundreds of vehicles mixed daily, making it impossible to identify who was coming or going. The perpetrators also targeted specific demographics. They preyed on marginalized individuals, often sex workers or stranded motorists. Because of their transient lifestyles, their disappearances rarely triggered immediate high-priority searches by local authorities. When you combine an incredibly mobile suspect pool with victims living on the margins of society, you get a complete vacuum of accountability. No single local police department had the resources to penetrate it. To close this loophole, federal law enforcement stepped in and officially launched the Highway Serial Killings Initiative. This network visualization represents VICAP, the Violent Criminal Apprehension Program. By funneling isolated case files from local agencies into this single database hub, the FBI broke down information silos. Analysts plotted the geographic coordinates of every unsolved highway murder. Almost immediately, a stark visual pattern emerged. The cold cases tracked perfectly along major commercial interstate corridors. Then they added a second layer of information. By overlaying commercial trucking data, like electronic driving logs and corporate fuel purchases, directly onto the crime map, they found where the paths intersected. If a body was found near an exit at 2 a.m., they pulled the time-stamped records from nearby automated toll booths and way stations. They could place a specific driver's vehicle at the precise time and location of a seemingly random attack. The FBI identifies these suspects by isolating the specific points where commercial transit data overlaps with cold case coordinates. Investigators successfully identified hundreds of suspects and began linking them to a vast network of cold cases that had previously baffled local police for decades. Law enforcement agencies evolved past relying solely on localized physical detective work to execute massive nationwide digital logistics tracking. The sheer volume of the highway system once provided anonymity, but today that scale requires immense amounts of data to manage. Those same logs and records now provide a forensic trail for every commercial vehicle on the road. The constant generation of electronic toll and fuel records allows the interstate network to function as a nationwide tool for tracking movement.